Hi, I'm Greg McIntyre with McIntyre Elder Law, and this is the Elder Law Report, where we bring you great information for your life, estate planning, and beyond every week. And today I'm here with Homebridge Financial Services, and these two ladies with me today are Gina LaRosa, Barbara Sika, and they really specialize in reverse mortgages. That's what they do. I know, Barbara, you've been in reverse mortgages for 20 plus years, something like that. Is that right?
Yes. 21 years and counting.
You don't look old enough to have been doing this for 20 years.
Thank you. I started very young in the mortgage industry, 1986.
Okay. And then Gina, I know that you also work in reverse mortgages as well, as a, boots on the ground, working with clients and making sure they have everything in order so it goes through smoothly, right?
Correct. Yes, we work with seniors. You handhold them through the whole process, and that's what they need. And that's the fun part.
I got you. So, I know everybody's curious about reverse mortgages out there. I think I know what they do. I think I know what some of the benefits are, but I'm sure but I don't do that for a living every day. You do. So can you tell us what a reverse mortgage is?
So a reverse mortgage is a product that's available to our senior citizens. And it's basically a product, if you're over 62 and you own your own home, you're eligible to borrow money against your home. And as long as you live in your home, you're not expected to pay it back. It's paid back at the end upon death or sale. So it's a great way for seniors to live more comfortably without the burden of, the economy's hitting everyone real hard right now. And it's a great way so they really don't have to draw down too many of their own assets. And it's just another product that's offered out there for seniors. And we're really out there just trying to educate everyone so they understand what and how the reverse mortgage product works.
So that's what a reverse mortgage is. Mm-hmm. What are the benefits for a reverse mortgage? You hit on some of that there. If I am, let's say one day I will be, I'm not there yet. One day I'll be over 62. And I hope to be a young 70-year-old. Okay. But let's say, some of my retirement IRAs, things like that have taken a hit. I'm not getting enough income, or I feel like I'm being pinched, I'm being squeezed. But I have this nice house over here that I live in, and it sounds like I can turn it into another stream of income.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. With a reverse mortgage, there's a couple of different options. A senior may draw their money down. They could choose a line of credit and use it gradually through their lifetime. What's nice about the line of credit is we allow the line of credit to grow with them. There's a growth rate attached to it. So if a senior started with a line of credit of $200,000 and they didn't draw on it for the first year, next year there'd be $204,000 available, and so on. It keeps growing over their lifetime. Line of credit is a very popular option. Sometimes our older seniors may really not want to deal with the line of credit, and maybe they're just looking for a monthly increment. So you're able to send them money each month, depending. It could be a term where, you may have someone that's 90 years old and they're looking for home health care, and it's very expensive today for that. So maybe they need $3,000 a month. We can send them $3,000 a month as a term payment. Or if a senior is very young and they're like, I just want my monthly payment to last as long as I'm alive. And we do what's called a 10-year payment, and we'll send them a monthly increment that will last them through their lifetime. And some people will say, Barb, what if I outlive the monthly payment? And on the 10-year plan, believe it or not, it's 150 years of age. So they'll never outlive the 10-year plan.
Wow. You brought up something new to me. I could use that as a replacement for long-term care insurance.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's a great tool. And again, like I said, a lot of our older seniors are using it for those very reasons. Maybe, you're approaching your 90s and you don't want to go into a facility and you want to age in place and remain at home for the rest of your life. This is a great opportunity that you can draw money from your home and help fund home health care.
And at 90, I know you could not get long-term care insurance, or if you had pre-existing conditions, medical conditions, you couldn't get long-term care insurance.
Mhm.
But if I owned a house, I could get a reverse mortgage to pay me.
That's true. 100%.
Pay for in-home caregivers to come in, right?
Mhm. That's right. That's right.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. So if what are the drawbacks? What are the downsides to a reverse mortgage?
So I really don't feel that. I've been doing reverse for a really long time now, and I literally have been doing it for 21 years, nothing else, and I love my product. And back in the day when they first came out, there was a lot of service fees that were attached. So we would hold money back up front to pay a service fee. That's no longer in play anymore. So that's gone away. Some people will say, well, the closing costs are expensive. And every reverse mortgage is different than the next. So people will say, when I say that, the closing costs could be high. And people say, well, what are the closing costs? The closing costs are based on the value of one's property. And so it's also an FHA insured loan. So the government's insuring the loan. So when I say closing costs can be expensive, they're all on paper, meaning that the closing costs are paid back at the end. So when the senior passes away and they're up in heaven looking down, that's when the closing costs are paid back. It's part of the loan balance. So we don't even here at Homebridge, we don't even collect an appraisal fee up front. Literally all the fees are on paper, which is a wonderful thing. So I really don't think that there are any negatives with the reverse because, you know, if you have a senior that wants to age in place and they're worried about paying closing costs that are on paper and they're physically not paying them until they die, or if a senior is saying, well, I may have to sell my house because I can't afford to live here anymore. This is a great opportunity where a senior can age in place and stay at home. And if, God forbid, they did have to sell their house, they're going to have to pay realtor fees anyway. So it's going to probably cost more for them to sell, downsize, and be uncomfortable than do a reverse mortgage and age in place.
Yep. It's a win-win.
I mean, that sounds phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sorry, Greg.
Go ahead,
A
Gina.
little delay there. I was, you know, one of the things, one of these financial planner was talking to me, and if someone asked me what a negative thing is, and there is value, the insurance gives you peace of mind as well. So there is a cost to that, but there is value to that. But the financial planner, and I said to him, he said, what's the negative? I said, well, if somebody wants to give their children a home free and clear, you probably don't want to get a reverse mortgage. Although the kids today all have their own homes and they don't want mom and dad's home anyway, and they have good jobs, but that's one of the negatives if you want, because your balance is going to go up, but you don't pay it back until you leave the home, you know, death or you sell it.
So you bring up some good points that kind of cross over into a little bit of what I do as well with the estate planning and elder law side. You know, a reverse mortgage to me in the end is just a mortgage.
Right.
If you die or sell the property, it's no different than any other mortgage you have on your house. It has to be paid off. And one way to pay it off is to forfeit the house to pay off that mortgage.
Right.
But it seems to me the children, if they wanted to, if they were left the house, could refinance the house, pay off the reverse mortgage, and keep the house.
Absolutely correct. Yes. The family would have 6 months to pay us back or do a refinance if they want to keep it in their name. And typically they'll have a year if they decide to sell. So that's exactly true. And Greg, you bring up a great point because through all my years, a lot of people have so many negative spins on a reverse mortgage. And they're like, oh, the bank's going to own my house. And absolutely wrong. It's just like a traditional mortgage, like you just brought up. And a lot of people don't realize that. And at the end of the day, God forbid, they have a mortgage today and they pass away. It needs to be paid back anyway, just like a reverse. So
right. Yeah, my point is, if I have just a regular mortgage on my house, and I do, right, and I die, I've got to pay off that mortgage, or my kids have to maintain that mortgage or pay it off, or else it's going to be foreclosed on. The bank's going to take the house.
That's right.
Reverse mortgage is no different.
No different.
In
no
that
different.
respect. How about that?
Right.
If you wanted to pay off the mortgage.
That's true.
Within
Correct.
6 months. How about that? Yeah.
Yeah, you have more time in a reverse too. They actually take into consideration you might be going through probate. Kids decide if they want to sell it, keep it. In another way, it came, and I had a gentleman who was working for corporate America at a restaurant chain, and he got laid off during this COVID thing. Actually, he's he's terminated just because they couldn't the restaurant world. So he didn't want he was only 63 and he didn't want to take out his Social Security. So what did he do? He got a reverse mortgage in the interim to use that money. So he's one of the guys, he gets monthly payments, and you can change that too. If he wanted to take a lump sum, it's a monthly payment. So that filled in his gap till he can retire and get his Social Security. So he'll be using his reverse mortgage for probably up to whatever. He was 63. He said he wants to take it out when he's 70. So he was so excited about it. I always told him, you take the equity out of your home. It's like taking off the doors and cashing them in and your windows and turning it into cash.
Absolutely. And then to the point with where a reverse mortgage, if you pass away, has a built-in buffer of 6 months. With a traditional mortgage, that monthly payment's due the next month. It's due every month, whether I'm alive or I pass away. So somebody has to pay that. And if you don't pay, the bank will foreclose and take your house, right? But with a reverse mortgage, 6 months buffer to figure things out for the family before you have to address.
Right. And if they decide to sell it, they could ask for extensions. And as long as they're trying to sell it at fair market value, they'll grant the exceptions up to a year so they can sell the property.
And it is a non-recourse loan. Are you familiar with that? Non-recourse. So if the home is worth, they have their reverse mortgage for 10 years and it's valued at $200,000, but then it's valued in 10 years at $100,000. Well, they just give it back to the bank, and that's where the insurance comes into play. And no one's responsible.
Even if your asset, how about if your mortgage ended up being more than the asset was worth? It's a wash. The bank takes it and takes a loss at that point. That's what you're saying.
Well, it's not even a loss because it's an FHA insured loan, so the government will pay the difference. So, and that's one misnomer too. Like a lot of times, when we do a lot of different seminars, and there'll be a room full of realtors, and a realtor will raise their hand and say, "Well, I had a property, and when it was upside down," and I say, "Well, that's great. That means that the senior outlived the reverse mortgage, right? They probably got it when they were really young." They probably paid off a big mortgage up front. They didn't make their monthly mortgage payments for 20 years. They passed away. All of a sudden, like again, 2001 hit, there was a crash. If you're ever upside down, the government will step in and pay the difference. So again, let's assume that you take the reverse mortgage out at 62. You live to be 102. Theoretically, you would have had this loan for 40 years. I can't get a 40-year loan, right? So you would have had this loan for 40 years. You haven't made a payment in 40 years. So God forbid you pass away at 102. Let's assume now you owe us back, $500,000, and the house is now valued at $200,000. We're in a huge recession. Who knows what happens in 40 years? The government will step in and pay off the difference of $300,000. So the heirs are not responsible for repayment.
Interesting. So okay. I learned something new today. And I do often, because this is not what I do for a living. But what we do with deed planning or trust planning, things like that, those things can be used in combination with reverse mortgages to keep a house and a family and to provide a stream of income, right? So yeah, that's very interesting. And I'm sure there's lots of folks out there who could benefit from this, from a reverse mortgage. How about that? So
absolutely. I think a lot of times too, and I would say about 80% of our seniors, they have a mortgage to pay off or an equity loan to pay off. So it's a great way for them to alleviate that monthly mortgage payment that they may be struggling to make. Like Gina mentioned COVID before. A lot of our seniors didn't go back to work after COVID. We had a lot of seniors that were working through their 70s, and you know what? COVID hit and they weren't able to go back to work. God forbid they lost a loved one. And now all of a sudden the economy today it's ridiculous, right? Pound of bacon's $8 sometimes at the supermarket. So this is a great opportunity for seniors again to tap into some money that they're not aware of. They're sitting on their home, and we're able to pay off their mortgage. They eliminate their monthly mortgage payment, and 9 out of 10 times there's money left over that they can use in a line of credit, a lump sum, or a monthly increment.
Absolutely. Well, if someone wants to contact you and they say, hey, I want to know more. I'm interested in a reverse mortgage. I need to know if this is for me or not. Let's talk about it. How can they get in touch with you?
Call us, email, text us.
Yes,
Give you our phone number and take it from there. And
absolutely.
Go ahead and give it to us. I'd love for everybody to hear it. So, and we'll put it on the screen as well, so they know exactly where to go and who to contact.
All right. My name's Gina LaRosa. Once again, my cell phone, you can reach me anytime, 704-778-0728. And I'm here in Charlotte, North Carolina, licensed in South Carolina and Pennsylvania as well. And Barbara?
Yes, I'm Barbara Sika. My number is 732-569-4830. I'm pretty much licensed almost in probably 35 states. So if you're listening, there's a good chance I'm licensed, or we have another person on the team that's licensed. But Gina is definitely the contact in North, South Carolina, Pennsylvania, and I would be everywhere else.
Gina, what's your email so people can shoot you an email if they have any questions?
Gina, Gina, LaRosa, LAROSA @homebridge.com.
Do you guys have so I could go to homebridge.com and do a lot of research too on the website, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to do that. I appreciate you guys being on the Elder Law Report today. Is there anything else that you would like to add before we sign off?
I'll add one thing. When people are listening, it literally will take Gina 30 seconds to tell you what you're eligible to receive. It's so simple. It's an age, value, zip code, and if there are liens against the property. So if you were ever wondering if a reverse mortgage is right for you or one of your clients, give her a call, email her, text her, and just say, hey, can you shoot me over a quick quote? I'd like to see if this would work out. It literally takes us 30 seconds to let you know. So please don't be afraid to call, and we're here for all your questions.
Thank you very much, Barbara, Gina, and thank you for being on the Elder Law Report. I appreciate it. And we'll see everyone.
Thank you, Greg.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.